In the summer of 2018, Marcelo Bielsa arrived at Elland Road carrying a bucket, a folder of handwritten notes, and a reputation as the most obsessive, most demanding, most brilliant football mind in the world. Leeds United had been outside the Premier League for 14 years. They were a championship club going nowhere. He changed everything. 4 years later, Bielsa was gone. Leeds were back in the Premier League, and everything he had built was being systematically dismantled by a board of directors who never truly understood what they had. This is the story of how Leeds threw away the most valuable thing they had ever been given, and what it took to build something new in its place. Marcelo Bielsa is not a normal football manager. Pep Guardiola calls him the greatest coach in the world. Mauricio Pochettino credits him as the single biggest influence on his entire managerial philosophy. He is the man who transformed Athletic Bilbao into one of the most exciting sides in Spain, playing only Basque players. He took Chile to a Copa America final. He is obsessive, meticulous, and entirely indifferent to the comfort of anyone who works with or against him. When he arrived at Leeds, he did something no championship manager had ever done before. He watched every single match played by every single club in the division before pre-season began. He built an analysis of the entire league from scratch. He delivered a presentation to the club that lasted hours and covered every opponent they would face. He paid the £200,000 Spygate fine personally out of his own money after his staff observed a Derby County training session before a league fixture. He brought a personal interpreter because his Spanish to English translation was too important to trust to chance. None of this was performance. It was just how Bielsa worked. He lived alone in a modest rented flat near the training ground. He was not interested in celebrity. He was interested in football. And at a club like Leeds, at a city like Leeds, that approach landed in a way that nobody quite expected. The Elland Road crowd, one of the most demanding in England, fell completely in love with him. Not because he was friendly, because he was honest. In his first season, Bielsa took Leeds to the playoff semi-finals. They lost to Derby County in dramatic circumstances, a result that prompted one of the best post-match press conferences in football history when Bielsa presented a full tactical and data analysis of everything his team had done wrong. In a season where most managers would have been celebrated for reaching the last four, Bielsa sat in a room and told the world exactly why his team had not been good enough. That was who he was. In his second season, he delivered. Leeds won the championship title with 93 points. They were promoted back to the Premier League for the first time since 2004. In their first season back in the top flight, they finished 9th, playing football that most Premier League clubs could not match. Patrick Bamford, Stuart Dallas, Calvin Phillips, Mateusz Klich, players that Bielsa had developed from championship-level performers into Premier League quality footballers. The squad was built on a fraction of what their rivals spent. The football was unlike anything the Premier League had seen in years. 16 years. That is how long Leeds had been waiting. Bielsa ended the wait, won the title, and had the club playing 9th in the Premier League in year one back. In terms of what he was given and what he delivered, it is one of the most extraordinary managerial achievements in English football in a generation. In February 2022, Leeds conceded 14 goals across 3 consecutive Premier League games. Manchester United, Liverpool, Tottenham, 14 goals in 3 matches. Bielsa was sacked 2 days after the Tottenham result, with Leeds sitting 16th, just 2 points above the relegation zone. The board made the call. The fans were divided. Some felt the team had been exposed. Others felt the manager had been abandoned. What came next was a masterclass in how to undo years of careful work in a matter of months. Jesse Marsch was brought in, sold by the board as a natural continuation of Bielsa's philosophy. An American with a Red Bull pedigree, high-energy pressing football. He lasted less than a year. Sacked in February 2023. Then Javi Gracia, a manager brought in mid-season with little time and even less support. Then Sam Allardyce called in for the final 4 games of the season as a panic appointment. Allardyce was 68 years old. He was the antithesis of everything Bielsa had built. Leeds were relegated in May 2023. 4-1 to Tottenham on the last day of the season. Their final points total of 31 was the worst since 1947. The squad Bielsa had carefully constructed and developed had been replaced piece by piece with expensively acquired players who could not replicate what had been there before. Jorginho Rutter cost £35 million. A 20-year-old with 12 career goals, signed to save them from relegation. It did not work. Leeds United are now majority-owned by 49ers Enterprises, the investment group connected to the San Francisco 49ers American football franchise. They first bought a 10% stake in Leeds in 2018, the same summer Bielsa arrived. By January 2021, they held 37%. By the time relegation was confirmed in 2023, they completed a full takeover. Parag Marathe, the 49ers executive who became Leeds chairman, built his reputation in American sports through data-driven decision-making and financial efficiency. The model they brought to Leeds was not the same as a traditional wealthy owner. It was private equity applied to football. Find undervalued assets, recruit efficiently, build commercial revenue, grow the asset before considering an exit. Daniel Farke was appointed as manager in the summer of 2023. He had won the championship twice with Norwich City. He was experienced, organised and effective in the second tier. The 49ers had done their homework, and Farke delivered exactly what was asked of him. In the 2023-24 season, Leeds won the championship title with 100 points, tied with Burnley, back in the Premier League at the first attempt. In the 2025-26 season, Leeds have been fighting Premier League survival, but the second half of the campaign has produced better results. And in April 2026, something happened that nobody expected. In April 2026, Leeds United reached the semi-finals of the FA Cup for the first time since 1987. The path there involved wins over Championship opposition and a rotated West Ham side before a result against Arsenal, the Premier League leaders. In 39 years, no Leeds manager had taken the club this far in the world's oldest cup competition. Daniel Farke has done something Bielsa never managed to do in English football. The significance of this goes beyond the result itself. A club that has spent this season in a Premier League survival fight, that lost the 2024 Championship playoff final and still carries the memory of that at Wembley, now has a Wembley semi-final to go and prepare for. The Elland Road atmosphere this season has built into something that the whole country has noticed. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has been in the form of his career. The football is not Bielsa ball. Nothing will be Bielsa ball again, but it is disciplined, organised and increasingly confident. Bielsa spoke about Leeds recently before the Uruguay-England friendly at Wembley. He said being at the club gave him some of the most beautiful memories of his career. He said he has not returned to Elland Road because he wants to keep those feelings of nostalgia intact. He always understood why he was sacked. He said so directly. 3 games, 14 goals. He never forgot it. Neither did the city. The murals are still there. The streets named after him are still there. The feeling that the best football the club has ever played happened between 2018 and 2022 is still there. What FARC is building now is different. Whether it becomes something comparable is the question the rest of this season will begin to answer. The season that FARC and Leeds are currently playing is in many ways the most important in the club's recent history. Promotion in 2025 was the task. It was achieved. Survival in the Premier League in 2026 is the test of whether the 49ers model works at the highest level. The FA Cup run has added a dimension that nobody planned for. A semi-final at Wembley against opponents to be confirmed, representing the first time Leeds have been this close to a cup final since 1987. Whether they reach the final, whether they win it, whether they stay up in the league, all of it will define whether this era of the club is remembered as the moment the rebuild became real, or the moment the limitations of the project were exposed. What is certain is that Elland Road will be full and loud for every remaining match. That the city of Leeds will be watching with the same intensity it has always brought to its football club. That the murals of Bielsa will still be there on the walls, and that the standard he set will be the measure against which everything that follows is judged. That is the weight FARC carries. That is the gift and the burden of following someone who became part of a city's identity. Leeds United's story is not close to finished. It has simply entered its next chapter. Subscribe because the pyramid goes deeper than you think. Welcome to the Football Pyramid.